Appaloosa actually is another favorite of mine, and you have always been a big fan of the Western as a genre. That you're standing up for that, and you produced a movie, the Purple Sage movie.
Yeah, we did Riders of the Purple Sage for TNT back in the mid '90s. Amy and I, yeah. Which was
So
fun.
I think
Classic
you're
Zane Grey story.
trying to keep this genre alive. But Appaloosa is a classic case of a movie that I thought it got great reviews, and I thought it was a really good movie.
Yeah, I did too.
And yet somehow there wasn't enough behind it.
Well, part of the problem was that we did it with New Line and Michael London's company, and during post, New Line distribution they were dissolved, the New Line distribution. All of a sudden, it's in the hands of Warner Brothers distribution, and they didn't know anything about it. They had these marketing people, and the people who were responsible for putting it out there, they didn't know a damn thing about the film. The great gal over there, Sue Kroll, she got the movie. She liked it a lot. She didn't have any support really, and they were getting ready. I knew they were getting ready to just kind of dump it. And I personally, I got to Alan Horn, and I sat down and I wrote him a letter first, and he said he'd meet me, and I said to him, you got to help me out here because this is a good film, and if you guys don't support it in some way, it's going to disappear in 2 days as well as I do. And he's kind of a Western fan. He's got a lot of great Western memorabilia. And he said, well, I don't really like to override my people, I let them kind of do what they do. Well, let me think about it. And he obviously communicated something to his team because they did support it somewhat. It was never a great release, but at least it got out there enough, to get some people to see it.
No, it's true.
But I was very proud of it. We had a great time making it, and I felt really good about it.
So what, you always seem to have about 50 million things going on at any given time, and I was looking you up. It sounds like you've done 81 movies in the course of your career.
So. Really? Well, sometimes
that would include TV.
Oh, okay, maybe with TV, but sometimes they'll list something that you worked at, you did some cameo on or something.
Yeah. No, the first movie I think I ever saw you in, because I was on the set, was Night Riders.
Yeah.
The George Romero film. And this was the King Arthur on motorcycles.
That's right. King Billy, 1980.
Incredible. So you have like 4 things coming up. What have you got? Something shooting now, or?
Well, I'm going to work Friday in New York on a thing called The Man on the Ledge, which is kind of a caper film. Just been in New York for like 3 weeks. Did a kind of interesting film called Touching Home with these young twin brothers from the Bay Area who kind of accosted me at the San Francisco Film Festival a few years back and demanded that I do this film. They'd never directed or acted or written anything before.
That was pretty generous of you.
Well, they wouldn't let me say no. You meet these guys, you'll understand. And they did a really nice job. It was a story about them and their dad, who had passed away a couple months prior. And one thing led to another, and I finally said, look, guys, and I was very busy that year, and I finally said, look, I'll give you a couple weeks in December, and they said, okay, all right, good, let's do it, And it was good. It's a nice little film, actually. I'm very proud of my work on it.
Well, it's good that, you've always done this. You've always supported the independents. You've always,
try to.
Put yourself behind things like Pollock when, when someone else wasn't going to do it, you made it happen.
Pollock was my thing, I worked on that for 10 years maybe. And then I had a fun time working with Amy on this Lance Black picture, What's Wrong with Virginia, which is pretty unusual, but I think it's kind of a cool film.
I missed it in Toronto.
You haven't seen it?
Yeah.
No, it's
Did it get a distributor?
I think they had like 4 or 5 companies that are interested in it, so I don't know where it ended up. Last time I saw Lance, he felt pretty good about it.